Why are you pretending as if you are a good girl?
I'm not pretending.
Now, then why don't you want to date anyone?
I am not ready for this.
The restaurant went silent except for his voice. Cunnell's laugh cut through the air like broken glass as he pointed at me across the crowded room. "This girl right here," he announced loudly. "She acts like she is too holy for anyone, but trust me, she is just playing games for richer men." My face burned. Phones tilted in my direction. Cameras captured my shock, my shame, my frozen body. I wanted to disappear into the floor. I wanted to scream that he was lying, that I had done nothing wrong. But the damage was already done. In that moment, surrounded by stares and whispers, I realized something terrifying. The world had already decided who I was based only on how I looked. My beauty had become my crime. And nobody cared about the truth. My chest felt tight. I could not breathe properly. The whispers grew louder around me, spreading like fire through dry grass. I saw women shaking their heads, their faces twisted with judgment. I saw men smirking, like they had always known I was pretending. My hands trembled on the table. I wanted to stand up and defend myself. I wanted to explain that Cunnell was bitter because I had refused him months ago. But what was the point? They had already made up their minds. A beautiful girl sitting alone in an expensive restaurant could only mean one thing to them. She was looking for a sponsor. She was playing games. She was exactly what Cunnell said she was. I grabbed my bag and stood up quickly, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. I walked out with my head down, tears burning my eyes. This judgment did not start today. I was 14 when I first understood that my body was dangerous. It happened suddenly, like waking up in a different world. One day I was just a dama, a quiet girl who loved reading and avoided trouble. The next day, men were staring at me on the bus. Boys were whispering when I walked past. Even women looked at me differently, their eyes sharp with suspicion. My mother noticed too. She started making me wear loose clothes. She warned me to be careful, to stay away from boys, to protect myself. But she never explained what I was protecting myself from. I learned slowly through experience. A compliment from a stranger was never just a compliment. A smile from a man was never just friendly. Everything came with expectations I did not understand yet. And everywhere I went, attention followed me like a shadow I could not escape. By the time I turned 20, the pressure was constant. My friends moved differently now. They dressed to impress. They went to parties every weekend. They posted photos with men who bought them phones, paid their rent, took them shopping. Nobody called it what it was. They called it hustling, survival, being smart. My friend Blessing once looked at me with pity and said, "Adama, you are wasting your finest years. Men would give you anything. Why are you suffering like this?" I did not know how to explain it to her. That something inside me felt wrong whenever I thought about using my body as currency. That I wanted to be valued for something deeper than my face and curves. That I was terrified of becoming trapped in a life where I owed men things I could not take back. So I stayed quiet and kept my distance. And slowly, I became the strange one. The first real offer came from Mr. Balogun. He owned 3 hotels in Lagos and always wore expensive agbada with heavy gold chains. He saw me at a church program and asked for my number through a mutual friend. When he called, his voice was smooth and confident. "Adama," he said, "I want to help you. You are too beautiful to be struggling. I can pay your school fees, rent, whatever you need. Just let me take care of you." I felt my stomach turn. "I know what that means," I said quietly. "I am not interested, sir." He laughed like I had told a joke. "Every girl says that at first," he replied. "But life is hard, Adama. Pride does not pay bills. Think about it. I will be waiting." I hung up and blocked his number immediately. But his words stayed with me. Every girl says that at first. Like my refusal was just part of a game I did not know I was playing. Like eventually, hunger would break me. Word spread quickly after I refused Mr. Balogun. Suddenly, invitations stopped coming. Friends who used to call me became distant. Blessing stopped asking me to hang out. When I asked why, she shrugged and said, "You think you are better than us, Adama. You act like you are too good for help." But I knew the real reason. I made them uncomfortable. My refusal was a mirror showing them choices they did not want to examine. So I walked alone. I went to class alone. I ate lunch alone. I came home to my small room alone. The loneliness pressed against my chest like a heavy weight. Some nights I lay in bed wondering if I was being foolish. Wondering if my values were worth this isolation. Wondering if anyone would even notice if I disappeared. Pride does not pay bills. The words echoed in my head constantly. I almost broke at Blessing's birthday party. The music was loud, the drinks were flowing, and everyone seemed happy in a way I had forgotten existed. A man named Tund approached me by the balcony. He was handsome, well-dressed, and spoke softly. "You look sad," he said. "I am just tired," I replied. He moved closer. "You do not have to be tired, Adama. Life can be easier if you let it." I knew what he meant. I felt the exhaustion in my bones, the hunger in my stomach, the loneliness in my heart. For a moment I considered it. Just this once. Just to feel wanted. Just to stop being so alone. But then I looked at his eyes. They were not seeing me. They were seeing my body, my face, my surface. Nothing deeper. I left the party early, my legs shaking. I realized something important that night. Discipline is much harder than temptation. And I was running out of strength. I met him on a random Tuesday at a small cafe near campus. I was studying for exams, my textbooks spread across the table, when he walked in. He looked ordinary. Simple jeans and a plain shirt. Clean beard. Calm eyes that did not immediately scan my body. He ordered coffee and sat 2 tables away. After 20 minutes, he stood up to leave and paused near my table. "Excuse me," he said politely. "You dropped this." He handed me a pen that had rolled off my table. I took it, surprised. "Thank you." He nodded and started to walk away. That was it. No compliment. No request for my number. No hidden agenda. I watched him leave, confused. Men never just helped me without wanting something in return. His name was Chitty, and he changed everything without even knowing it yet. I kept seeing Chitty at that cafe. He always sat quietly, reading or working on his laptop. He never stared at me. Never tried to start unnecessary conversations. Sometimes we would nod politely when our eyes met. That was all. It felt safe. One day, my phone died and I needed to make an urgent call. I asked if I could borrow his. "Of course," he said, handing it over without hesitation. Most men would have used that moment to flirt, to ask for my number in return. He did not. When I gave his phone back, I said, "Thank you. You are very kind." He smiled. "It is nothing. We are all just trying to help each other survive." Something about those words stuck with me. He was not trying to impress me. He was just being human. And for the first time in years, I felt like someone saw me as human too. I did not know he was watching carefully. Observing. Testing. Deciding. The lie started with Kunnel. The same man who would later humiliate me publicly in that restaurant. He had tried to date me months earlier. When I refused, his ego could not handle it. So he started spreading stories. "I saw her with different men all the time," he told people. "She acts innocent, but she is just playing games. Waiting for the richest one." The rumor spread fast. People who barely knew me suddenly had opinions. I heard whispers in class. I saw judging looks from strangers. Even Blessing, my old friend, mentioned it once. "Adama, people are talking," she said. "Maybe you should just pick someone and settle down. Stop causing confusion." I felt trapped. If I stayed single, I was playing games. If I dated someone, I was proving Kunnel right. The lie reached Chitty eventually. I did not know it yet. But he heard the rumors just like everyone else. Chitty did not confront me with anger like I expected. Instead, he did something different. He watched. He paid attention to how I carried myself. How I handled the stares. How I refused advances even when nobody was watching to give me credit. One evening, as we both packed up to leave the cafe, he finally spoke more than usual. "Can I ask you something personal?" he said. I hesitated. "Okay. Why do you come here alone all the time? Most people your age are always in groups." I looked down at my books. "Because I do not fit in with groups anymore. People do not understand me." He nodded slowly. "That must be lonely." "It is," I admitted quietly. "But it is better than pretending to be someone I am not." He smiled slightly. "I respect that." That was all he said. But something in his voice told me he understood more than he was saying. Chitty disappeared for 3 weeks without warning. I did not realize how much I had gotten used to seeing him until he was gone. The cafe felt emptier. I wondered if I had said something wrong. If he had heard the rumors and believed them like everyone else. Then one afternoon he walked in again. But something was different. He was dressed formally now. Expensive watch. Designer shoes. Confident posture. He ordered his usual coffee and sat at his usual table like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. When I stood up to leave, he stopped me. "Adama, can we talk?" I sat back down slowly, confused. He pulled out his phone and showed me photos. Him at international conferences. Him cutting ribbons at new business openings. Him shaking hands with government officials. "I own 4 companies across West Africa," he said quietly. "I have been successful for years. I came to this cafe to escape that world. And to observe. My mouth hung open. You were testing me, I whispered. He shook his head. Not testing. Observing. There is a difference. He leaned forward slightly. Adama, I meet women constantly. Beautiful women. Educated women. Women who want my money, my status, my connections. They perform for me. They try to impress me. They chase me. You did not. You did not even know who I was, and you still carried yourself with dignity. You still chose values over shortcuts. He paused. I heard the rumors about you. People said you were playing games, waiting for a rich man. But I watched you refuse actual rich men. I watched you sit alone rather than compromise. I watched your character when you thought nobody important was watching. That is when I knew. My heart pounded. Knew what? That you were exactly the kind of woman I wanted to spend my life with. We were married 6 months later. Not because of his wealth, but because he saw me when everyone else only saw my body. Because he valued my character when everyone else questioned it. The same people who had whispered about me, who had called me proud, who had believed Kunnal's lies, suddenly changed their tune. Adama is so lucky, they said. She really played the game well. I heard Blessing say it at the wedding reception. That girl knew what she was doing all along. Keeping herself until the right one came. I wanted to laugh. They still did not understand. I had not been playing any game. I had not been waiting strategically for a rich man. I had simply been protecting the only thing that truly belonged to me. My dignity. My values. My self-respect. And somehow, in protecting those things, I had attracted exactly what I needed. Not what I chased. What I needed. Looking back now, I understand what my mother could not explain when I was 14. Beauty is not dangerous by itself. It is how people respond to it that creates danger. My beauty opened doors. But my values decided which doors I walked through and which ones I closed. Many women see beauty as their greatest asset and trade it for temporary comfort. I learned that beauty fades, trends change, and men who want you for your body will leave when they find another body. But a man who values your character, who sees your strength, who respects your boundaries, that man stays. Chitty did not save me. I saved myself by refusing to compromise. He simply recognized what I had protected and decided it was worth honoring. The lesson is simple but powerful. Restraint is not about delaying success. It is about filtering who gets access to you. And those who protect their worth long enough will always attract what they deserve, not just what they chase. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Watch out for the next story.